born July 22nd, 1932. My father knew then, and I guess the Nazis were in all the Hofbrau houses, and in Munich it was very obvious. My mother got a little note in her laundry basket saying, "You better get out now." And this was in 35 or 36, because you're on the list for Dachau. And the woman who put that in was the neighbor, whose husband was a Gestapo. In 36, my mother and my sister and I emigrated. Because, as I told you, I grew up with old people. I lived in the home, and I know them real well, and every morning when I woke up, we had 5 rooms in this home for old people. I woke up, and they were my friends as a little girl. And I've worked in this field my whole life, so I can easily role play. Well, during the war, my father went to the war department in Cleveland, and he got bunches of rubber, and he got it for the old people in the home, and if you got so many pounds of rubber, you would get like 10 cents. Well, and my sister and I, we were with the rubber workers. So the red rubber was much easier to pull than the black rubber. And there was this little old lady, Mrs. Kohler. And to me, she was like 120 years old. She had a big hunchback. She was very thin. And she always got the rubber. No matter how early we were there, she would always get the good rubber, and she had it soaking by the time we got there. And we had hardly any of the good rubber left because Mrs. Kohler beat us all out. So we used to earn our pennies by pulling the red rubber. And that was during the war. And then my father had this garden where the people worked, and he had chickens, and he had an orchard during the war. Called it a victory garden, where the people planted food, and I would every Saturday morning I would make a talk at the synagogue. There was a temple in the home.
You would make the talk?
I did. Yeah, I made.
What would you say?
About how you should be good to your neighbor or something like that. I was good at speeches. I always work every summer in the home with the people putting on plays. I wrote them, directed them. I had the people who were very disoriented, now you would say they had Alzheimer's, and we made a rhythm band. And they would sit and play on the rhythm band, and we were going to go on TV. But before...
With his pants falling down, or the dance, that's a dream of romance, or the scene where the villain is mean, that's entertainment.
Why, oh why, oh why, oh, why did I ever leave Ohio? Why did I wander to find what lies yonder? I came back to Cleveland and I worked at a job. And,
Doing what?
well, for my social work. I worked with the housing department for a while. And then I met Dad.
Hold me close and hold me fast, the magic spell you cast, this is love your woes. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see love your rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. when you speak and they'll sing from a...
I just worked at Montefiore then, with a special service department.
Mm-hmm.
That's where slowly I developed validation.
So did you have a lot of freedom at Montefiore because you were working with the severely disoriented?
Yeah, because no one bothered me. No one cared what I was doing. And even my father, he didn't know what I was doing, neither did my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I had students from the university, they knew more what I was doing. Well, the workshop started actually with Dad's film. We did a film called When Generations Meet. And it was about kids from high school, from Heights High School, who were dropouts. And so that they wouldn't drop out from school, there was a program that they would learn how to work with old people. So I had these kids and I taught them how to work with the old people. And that was on television. There was a film called When Generations Meet. And this lady, they had just begun the offices on aging. Aging was just beginning at that time to be really a big thing. This was in the 60s, the early 70s maybe. And a woman who was head of the Department on Aging saw this film on TV, and she called me up. And you were very little then. And she said, oh, how would you like to work? And I said, oh no, I can't do that. I have little children. You know, it meant she wanted me to do workshops, which would mean traveling in Ohio, just in Ohio. And Dad said, oh, why don't you call her back? And I did call her back. And then I started, you know, working just in Ohio. You would go to school and I would drive to Columbus or wherever these area agencies were and do a workshop and come home. And I did that for a while, and then someone saw me and said, how would you like to do a workshop in Missouri? And someone from Missouri said, how would you like to workshop in Kansas? And so little by little the workshops grew, just by word of mouth.
When the whistles blow, and the cymbals crash, and the sparklers light the sky, I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton, before the parade. Class
Kessler, we're going to find out what day it is today.
I'm looking for yesterday.
You're looking for yesterday?
Yeah, I'm looking for yesterday.
Since we have started to talk about it, I'm going to just tell you surely, and it won't take long. I was very happy to find the few people that you have here, and I know many of them that were not here. And I've always been very happy to see you.
Thank you. That's nice. That's lovely. Isn't that lovely? And I think we do feel close together, don't we?
Oh, I think so.
Should we sing our song and hold hands the more we get together?
Sure.
Mrs. Gogolik, do you want to hold Mrs. Freeman's hand? And Mrs. Freeman, you want to hold Mrs. Ward's hand? The more we get together, the happier we'll be. More your friends are my friends and my friends. On this side too. Look at that. It's not only on this side, but on that side.
Marge, now there's nothing that's different.
Now, look at
There's
that.
nothing wrong with your hair. Now I want you to sit back and relax. You're always worried about it. Your hair is not falling out. There's nothing happening to it. Just the way it always
My hair
was.
was
Now,
never like this. I had a full head of hair when I came in here. Look at it. It's coming out. I can see it. Look at it. It's on
Marge,
the
if you
floor.
would stop putting it down with your
In his hands, he's got the whole world. In his hand, he's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the mothers and the fathers. He's got the mothers
perfect.
I think we've done enough. I
Okay.
think it's
Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. Hey, always look on the bright side of life. Come on.
Amy, you look worried.
I'm just so tired. I was the rest.
Iron trying to hit me.